Hello everyone, my name is Karen. I make bookish and college related videos, and today I am bringing you another reading vlog because I don't know what to film until next week. So for this vlog, I'm going to be reading Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi. And from what I understand of this book, it is about our main character who is a PhD student doing research at Stanford University School of Medicine, and she is trying to get down to the bottom of depression and addiction. My brother's talking downstairs. Trying to get down to the bottom of depression and addiction shortly after her brother OD'd, who was a high school athlete. I guess she's trying to understand like the science behind her mother after all this like depression and trauma and anxiety. I'm really excited to see what the second novel by Yaa Gyasi is going to be like. But my brother came home early from work today, and so this entire time I thought I was going to be home alone and I would have the whole day to read, but that means I have my car because he's using my car. So we're gonna look at my library and see what books they have available, especially the ones that I want to read, because I finished these two and it's time for me to return them. I pull up my Goodreads and see what I've been wanting to read. Okay, this is a fantasy book. Let's see if I can read this fantasy book. In my last vlog I said I couldn't. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. That's also been something that I've been wanting to read. So I am trying not to do this with everyone staring at me in the library, but I'm in the parking lot and I have to take out all these tabs. I was literally in the library for 2 seconds. That was the fastest library trip I have ever taken. And I'm really excited. These look so good. And they were all in the news section too. Oh my god. When was this published? This was published in 2020. What the hell? These are brand new. Okay, anyway, now I'm headed to Dunkin' Donuts and then I can go home and finally read. Anyway, I am back home from the library and Dunkin', but I just wanted to show you guys these covers. This is The Secret Life of Church Ladies. Then we have the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This one's a hefty book. It's 400 pages long. And we have Ring Shout. This one's pretty cool. It was literally just published in October. Anyway, it's lunchtime and I'm going to take my dogs on a walk and then I'll come back and read. Hello, so it is 3:33 and I am 11 chapters into the book. So the main character of this story is a science PhD student at the Stanford Medical School, and I appreciate the science involved in this story and how it's used as like a background story to the main character. I also like that there's flashbacks to her childhood and parallels to her current day in life. The chapters go by really fast. There's 54 chapters, so I wrote the number 54 on the post-it note and it just reminds me like how many chapters that I have left. It's kind of like keeping track of your reading on Goodreads, where you keep track by typing in how many pages you've read or what percentage you're at. And so I think every 10 to 12 chapters I'll try and update the blog, but my goal is to finish this book tonight so that I could start a new book tomorrow because I have 3 more books to get through. So I am just about halfway through Transcendent Kingdom and I absolutely love it so far. Let me pull up my Goodreads. So on Goodreads I wrote, I really appreciate this book. There's a balance between Gifty's religious upbringing and her current day scientific mindset. I'm looking forward I have a typo in this thing. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of her and her mother's relationship develops in the current plotline. So I've kind of picked up on Yaa Gyasi's writing style with this story. So every other chapter starts with some sort of neuroscience research, and Gifty kind of relates it back to what she's experiencing in the current plotline. And the whole idea so far of this story is that Gifty's mom is visiting Gifty in California, I believe. Is that where Stanford is? But she grew up in Alabama, and so she refers back to her Southern childhood and the relationship that she's developed with her brother and how his addiction panned out during her childhood up until his death. And she also talks about her father. And I love that this isn't a like YA novel. Typically, YA novels focus on first experiences, but this focuses on an older individual that has gone through their entire childhood and adolescence and has experienced all these things and is now trying to tie it back into her young adulthood. I love that we get to see various relationships develop so far in the story. We see her and her lab partner. They've had a few interactions that have kind of changed depending on like what Gifty's mood was like in the lab and the party. She tries to develop some sort of relationship with other women in the PhD program that she's in, and she mentions that because there's a lack of women in her PhD program, she needs to develop like some sort of mentorship and friendship with other people, and it's very easy for other women to open up in conversations that she has with them, but she hasn't been able to open up despite the fact that she wants to talk about what's going on with her and her mother being at home, depressed and just locking herself in the room all day long. And then you have like the relationship with her mom, and I don't know how to explain how much I appreciate like the cultural aspect of it, because when her mom came, Gifty went to like so many different stores to find the right groceries to make this like cultural dish and share it with her mom, despite her mom not eating and not like wanting to eat or making an effort. And so I think all of the relationships that Gifty touches on in her story is definitely like different subplots that I am excited to see how they like pan through. And I'm already halfway through the book, and so I don't know. I really like it so far. Alright, so now I am on chapter 36. As you can see, some of these chapters are like really short. At this point, also spoiler alert, so if you're planning to read this book, I wouldn't watch this entire vlog until you read the book. If not, continue watching. But I finally got to the part where Gifty talks about the moment her brother started getting addicted to drugs and the moment leading up to his overdose. And so I'm seeing that all fall into place. The last several chapters that I just read focused on Gifty's experience with religion growing up, and I find a lot of similarities in myself and Gifty in terms of religion and how we view religion. The fact that her childhood takes place in the South makes it very relatable to my like perspectives on religion now, if that makes sense. But I have about like 90 pages left, so I'm gonna use the restroom, get some water, maybe make some hot tea because it is really cold. Okay, I just had to document it for the vlog, but look at this cute Starbucks Florida mug. I love. I am drinking the Scarlet Citrus Rubios Tazo, whatever the brand is. It's the same brand at Starbucks. And I really enjoy it, and it's nice and warm, and it's really cold in here. But I have 90 pages to go, so I think I'm gonna be able to finish tonight. It's 9 o'clock right now, so I should be done by like 11 o'clock or so, but I probably just jinxed myself. I probably won't finish at 11, but we'll see. Okay, I have 2 pages left, and literally I read the first sentence after the last chapter and I went, if you know, you know. I am done. I am done with Transcendent Kingdom. I didn't realize how big of a role religion would play in this novel. I assumed it was going to be a lot more science-y and a lot more, how do I explain this? So I am not a very like analytical reader. I kind of just read for fun most days, and I try not to nitpick at everything that I read. From my perspective and my lack of actual critical reading, this This book was very character driven, and not necessarily plot driven. I feel like this plot didn't cover a long timeline. It felt more of like a semester with a lot of flashbacks. So it wasn't really the plot that was heavy. It was the character development, and the character experience. Let's see, Transcendent Kingdom update. Finished book. 5 stars. I really, really like this book. I feel like if you're personally a very spiritual or religious person, you would definitely love this book, and you would love the character, not necessarily development, just Gifty's thought process all throughout this book, and how her childhood and adolescence has influenced her young adulthood. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. I have more videos coming your way soon. Bye everyone.